Let us start a new issue today. For that, first of all, thank you all for watching my videos. And if you are a bit benefited, then I would request you to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get the notifications at the earliest. My phone number is, or contact number is 74392 36552. Now we are entering into the core issue of demand. What is demand? A quantity that can be purchased subject to the buyer's affordability to pay for its price. I am once again stressing on the word affordability, because if you don't have the affordability, then you can just call it a want, not a demand. This is a specific point of distinction to be noted. The very next step we have to proceed is the demand influencing factors. When we demand for something, there are several demand influencing factors we can easily identify. Such list can be an exhaustive one and bigger one, larger one. But in the study of economics, we effectively consider only four. Those four are, first of all, the own price of the good. Suppose if X is the commodity for which we post our demand, then its price will be P subscript X. We call it PX. Whenever we go for or decide for demanding anything, we first inquire about its price. So own price has a special room for consideration, or is on the top of the priority list, as we can easily think. The second factor which influences the demand for a good is the price of the related good. Suppose in the market, if our demand is posted for good X, before posting it, we always inquire about the related goods with X. These goods are in short called complementary goods or the substitute goods and the substitute goods. So complementary and substitute goods are the two forms of related goods. At the time of purchasing a certain thing, the price of the related goods do influence its decision to purchase. The third one is money income, the pocket. Actually, money income is often a very, very determining factor, because without money we cannot buy anything. So how much money do I possess is a very much deciding factor of what amount will be demanded by me. Other things remaining same, if somebody has more money income than me, then the same thing he can buy in more amounts than me. So the third factor is money income. It is denoted by capital M. The fourth one is taste and preferences. Nowadays, in the days of advertisements and branding, we cannot ignore it in any way. The things we like yesterday may not be liked equally today. We may shift to prefer some other goods. So tastes and preferences are also a determining factor. Therefore, to be very precise, own price of the commodity, number one. Number two is the related commodity price. Number three is the money income. And number four is the tastes and preferences. These are the four deciding factors of the demand for a commodity at any given point of time. Of course, with a shifted point of time, this can have different types of influences because this will entail a change in the parameters. So with this background, we can now shift to the notion of demand function. To explore the relationship between the quantity demanded and own price, we take all other demand influencing factors except own price, stress on the word except own price, as parameters. Parameters are those things which are temporarily constants but can only change over a period of time. So this is a special type of constants. The constants whose value can be changed. So this distinction of parameter and variables are very important in the study of economics. Parameters are not variables, rather temporary constants that can vary over time. Anyway, in most of the time, the economists are interested in exploring the relationship between own price of the commodity and the quantity demanded. When this is done, we can get two types of demand functions resting on the relationship between the quantity demanded and price of the commodity. These two types of demand functions are, first of all, the usual demand functions. What are the usual demand functions? Usual demand functions are those cases where quantity demanded is dependent on price, keeping the parameters as temporarily fixed. Its slope is change in quantity by change in price. The slope is a very interesting point of study to make the entire perception clear. When we take a piece of paper and draw the demand curve, its slope will be readily revealed. The second type of demand function with which we are mostly acquainted is the inverse demand function. Conventionally, we do our entire analytical process mostly with inverse demand functions until and unless it is referred otherwise. Such demand functions are defined as the demand functions where the price is dependent on quantity, the upside down of the usual demand function definition. Obviously, its slope will be the change in price by change in quantity. Until and unless we take a very special note about the distinction of these two types of slopes, in subsequent studies like that of elasticities and others, we may get confused and the things may become harder. That is why these points are very important. Today, up to this, in the next class or next video, I will teach something else. but of course within the periphery of the demand functions. Anyway, thank you all for today. If you listen it carefully, I think the smaller and smallest things will be visualized and will be lended for your studying the textbooks of economics with much ease. That is my belief. Wait for the next one. Goodbye.